What if I told you there is a portrait hanging in an attic right now that has been aging for over a century while its subject remains frozen in time? This isn't just fiction anymore. Picture this: a young, beautiful person commissions their portrait, desperate to preserve their youth forever. The artist completes the painting, but something goes terribly wrong. From that moment forward, every sin, every cruel act, every year of aging appears on the canvas, while the person's real face remains untouched by time. This is the haunting premise of Oscar Wilde's masterpiece, The Picture of Dorian Gray. But here is what will shock you about this story. Wilde didn't just write horror fiction. He created a prophetic mirror of our modern obsession with eternal youth. When Wilde published this novel in 19,890, he was already living dangerously. Victorian society was suffocating, demanding moral perfection, while hiding corruption beneath polished surfaces. Sound familiar? Wilde dared to expose this hypocrisy through Dorian's tale, and it nearly destroyed him. The portrait becomes Dorian's hidden shame, locked away where no one can witness his moral decay. But here is the psychological genius of Wilde's creation. The painting represents what we all fear most, the visible consequences of our choices catching up with us. Think about today's world. We have filters, surgery, treatments, anything to maintain our image, while our souls potentially rot underneath. Dorian Gray isn't ancient history. It is happening right now on every social media platform, but Wilde embedded something even more disturbing in this story. Lord Henry, Dorian's mentor, whispers poison into his ear about embracing hedonism and selfishness. He is the ultimate toxic influence, the friend who encourages your worst impulses while pretending it is wisdom. The most chilling part. Dorian starts believing that beauty equals worth, that youth equals value. He becomes completely hollow, using and discarding people like objects. The portrait shows his true face, ugly, twisted, corrupted beyond recognition. Here is what kept me awake after reading this. Wilde was writing about the price of vanity and moral emptiness, but he was also writing about himself. He was living a double life in a society that would eventually prosecute him for who he loved. The portrait could represent anyone hiding their true self from a judgmental world. The story reaches its terrifying climax when Dorian can no longer bear looking at what he has become. In a moment of rage and desperation, he destroys the painting, but here is the twist that changes everything. The moment the canvas rips, all those years of corruption instantly transfer back to him. This isn't just a ghost story about a magical painting. It is a warning about what happens when we completely disconnect from our conscience, when we prioritize image over substance, when we let toxic influences guide our choices. Wilde's genius was showing us that we all have a portrait hidden somewhere, reflecting who we really are beneath our carefully constructed facades. The question is, what would your portrait look like right now? And more importantly, are you brave enough to look at it? The most beautiful faces can hide the ugliest souls, but true horror isn't supernatural, it is human.